Thank you, ma'am. And now, am I the first to cry in your interview?
Yeah, you might be.
Oh, this will be good. That was so long ago. Dad and I started painting downstairs. We had an area back then, there wasn't carpet, there were cement walls. He had an easel, I had an easel. My E fell off. We had two little rolling carts that we'd have our paint on, and he would always have a cigar in his mouth. In high school, I was getting all A's. I had classmates telling me they were so jealous. They learned so much from sitting next to me. Dad and I actually started doing art fairs. He was an art director and designed billboards all around Kansas City. He was patient. In fact, he did 4 great big huge, like 5-foot by 7-foot paintings that the FAA has, and he actually let me paint on it with them. So I thought that was kind of cool. We did probably 75 shows all around. He would be on one side and I would be on the other, and we just did a lot of art fairs together. I helped Dad design the deck out and back, and he made a comment once. He goes, "This could be yours." Now I'm gonna cry.
Was he sick at that time, or did you?
No, he was not sick at that time, but that was like August, and he passed away Thanksgiving. So it wasn't, he had a massive heart attack. So I bought the house from my brother and sister. High school, I was babysitting some people down the street. He was a TWA pilot, and every summer they would go to the Bahamas, and the wife came to my mom and said, "We want to take Ruthie to the Bahamas for the summer to babysit." I was 15 and 16 back then. I did it for 2 years. So I got to go 2 years, 3 months at a time down in the Bahamas. It was wonderful, and that's where my love for palm trees and the water all came into play. And that ends up being reflected in a lot of my paintings. It was awesome. They had a lot of parties down there. I remember that. Just remember, I learned to water ski on the ocean, believe it or not, because it was just like glass. The colors of the water were absolutely phenomenal. The palm trees were the perfect palm trees. There were a few pictures that I remember I took. They were in the little bitty square colored photos, all blurry, but I remember them from there. I just remember the water. It's just something my manager asked me to do, was make some magnets. I found him online. You're supposed to have him in your car because he'll like, his little legs will move. I try to pick up a little artwork from places I'd been. One of my favorite cities was Sydney, of course. Amsterdam was all with the tulips. I went to the, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, the Keukenhof Gardens. Tulips everywhere. The Little Mouse was a restaurant in London that we would go to every time we were in London. And I don't know, Paris, Savannah, Panama, Dubai, Brunei, Hong Kong, Stockholm, Singapore, Barcelona. That family, because they were in the airline industry, she actually talked me into going to reservation school, airline reservations. And that turned into a reservation company. I did training, I did product development, then I ended up in sales, and I was supporting the sales guys, traveled around the world with them, and we got to see a lot of places I never thought I would ever go to. And then I pick up, these were some plates I picked up. Budapest and Madrid and Dublin. I was quite the international traveler. If I'd be home for a while, Brian would say, I'm going to call your boss and tell him that you need to get out of town again. So off I'd go. And so that was 35-year career in the travel industry. And during that time, I really did not paint at all. So when I retired in 2019, I really was, I was just getting used to retirement, you know, getting into the groove, not getting up, having to go to work, and started painting a little bit, not a whole lot. But in 2022, a neighbor called me and told me about the Parade of Hearts, that I ought to enter it and do a design. I think after doing that big heart with the city scene, I thought, well, yeah, this could be something, you know. So then just started painting more. What do I have going on here? So this is how Dad first started doing city scenes up here. And then he's obviously graduated to ones like this that I've done. Dad's easel, you can tell it's had a lot of paintings on it. And he put a board on it. So something like this, I would start in the sky. I'd use a, you know, bigger brush and just start on the sky. Just a lot of movement like this. In fact, I noticed the other day I have paint splattered on my wall over here. I'll come in and I'll do my land, and then, you know, I'll reference where the buildings are from my photos. Dad taught me about using a knife, a palette knife, where I would take a knife and do my colors and get my, you know, put my white first and then put my yellow on top of it for the streets. for the cars going and coming, and then work on the reflections, put a few stars in the sky or lightning if it's a dark one, and finish it off with my bird. One of my signature things that I do in my paintings is to put a bird in the sky. And I think it ends up being more of a composition thing. Maybe something my, dad taught me about your triangle or your diagonals or whatever, or there's just this blank area that just needs something. So I just started putting a bird in there, and people have caught on to that. It's this little picture over here. It's just Dad watching me paint. For me, at my age, I would say I'm just going day by day. Just, living the life, not trying to reach any particular goal in the art world per se, but just finding little things that interest me and go with it. Cast thy lines in thy waters, and I will have good luck if you use the right dough ball. Fisherman's Wharf. Dad and I, we would go fishing when I was little, and we'd make our own dough ball and fish for carp up in Farley, along the river up there. And so he wrote that, and I keep it there. And that was the insignia of their squadron. My husband says my painting supports his golf game.